And we are live with the Blue Boys
Yeah.
podcast with my first guest, Ryan. How you doing, Ryan?
Good. How are you doing, Kai?
I'm doing great. How's your day been? Haven't seen you in a while.
Um, it's been a bit of an eventful day. I was up at the bookstore today.
Oh, that's good. What'd you get at the bookstore? What'd you get?
Well, I was looking for this new book about this basically the national security advisor, the former national security advisor wrote this book about his time in the White House. So I was looking for
Yeah.
it at Barnes and Noble, but they didn't have
Mm-hmm.
it. So I had to get it at BJ's.
BJ's. That's a pretty far drive from Barnes and Nobles to BJ's.
Yeah, I didn't think BJ's would have it, but they had it and not Barnes and Noble.
Wow. For the one time. That's one for BJ's. That's a little win. Okay. So, Uh, you just graduated high school, huh?
Yeah,
Hmm, that's pretty cool.
yeah,
Uh,
it's pretty nice.
yeah. Feel different?
Not really. Maybe it's because it was a virtual graduation, but I don't feel that different right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a bitch graduating virtually, but you'll get the diploma in person, so ain't that bad. But
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
excited about that.
yeah, that'll be fun.
I'll be there with Corey.
Yeah. Hey, you're fit. You buy a lot of things online, right? Books.
Yeah.
What do you use?
Um. Recently, I've been using Amazon because they actually are usually pretty cheap. But in terms of which company I like the best, I really like Barnes and Noble.
You use the Barnes and Noble online store. How's it? Is it well made?
It's pretty good. The aesthetic is pretty nice. I prefer the aesthetic over Amazon, to be honest.
Yeah, Amazon's kind of got an annoying aesthetic.
Yeah, it's all like it's kind of bland, but I mean, can't complain about the cheapness of it.
Yeah, that price though. Oh, speaking of cheap things, you ever been on Alibaba?
No, I've heard of it though.
Oh yeah, Alibaba, man. Chinese, pretty much Chinese Amazon. It's huge. You can pretty much buy anything off Alibaba. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Like anything off Alibaba. But it doesn't work like Amazon where you just place an order. Sometimes you have to like call in because Alibaba, man, they're shipping like on industrial scales. Like these are like 100 order
Yeah.
shipments they're putting out. You gotta call companies over in China.
Have you ever
But,
ordered something from Alibaba?
no, my mom has though, and she doesn't like it. But because she's a hairstylist, she orders a lot of hair products and
Yeah.
pieces of hair.
Yeah.
So she's always ordering things off Amazon. Not really Alibaba though, but yeah, Alibaba's got them cheap prices because you're ordering it straight from the source.
Yeah.
Disclaimer:
Good.
this is not a
Not an
advert for
ad for Alibaba.
Alibaba in any way. I do not condone Alibaba. I don't support them. I'm not getting any money from this. I
Isn't a lot of it
wish.
like pirated goods or it's like a lot of it's like knockoffs?
Well, that's the thing with China. They don't have laws against that over there, so. And
Yeah.
it's also a cultural thing I've heard. Like in China it's like tradition. It's like customary for as a like someone who's just starting out in a business to copy like a master of the trade until you can get like your own like style, which makes sense if I was like making tables or something, but
Yeah, or like yeah, like a blacksmith or something like
yeah,
that.
but it's not the greatest excuse for like a multi-million-dollar company that's like pumping out goods
Yeah.
on like the daily using like slave labor. You ever hear
The
about that?
the Chinese
The concentration camps in China?
oh yeah, that's for with the Uyghur Muslims.
Oh yeah, the Uyghurs, man. I think they've interned like something like 1 million people. What's the
Yeah.
numbers on that? I don't know.
Is I'm not sure is the goal to kill them or just to like destroy their culture? Is that I'm not
I
sure.
think it's to destroy their culture, to be honest with you. If they were like killing 1 million people, I think the world would do a little more about it. I know they're killing people. They're definitely killing a shit ton of Uyghurs. The Chinese government has no qualms with killing people, but I honestly think it's more about like just destroying their culture
Yeah,
completely.
That would make sense.
It's kind of like I forget who said that, but there's this great quote from oh yeah, what it was back in the day, right? When
Yeah.
the Native Americans were first being put on reservations, what they used to do is take all the kids and send them off to boarding school where they would educate them on like the ways of the white man. And it was like this massive program designed to like just eradicate Native American culture. This huge thing. They just don't talk about it. It was so big in Canada and America, and it just wiped out like all these Native American languages because like
Hmm.
it's not that it faded away. It's because they took the kids and they just didn't grow up with their tribe, so they like lost all these customs. And there's all these like before and after pictures that they would take, like their first day and then like after they've been re-educated. But yeah, it's like that. But this one director of a school said once, we're not trying to kill the Indian. We're trying to kill the Indian but keep the man, kill the
Yeah.
culture but keep the person, which is just so scummy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It is.
just messed up a whole culture of people. But the thing is, nowadays they have it's like lived on to the modern era through what they do with CPS, right? Child Protective Services,
Yeah.
because like out of everybody, like Native Americans are more likely to get their kids taken away by CPS and put into the
Yeah.
foster care system, and that pretty much does the job of the boarding schools. It just messes up the culture because they're not learning like their traditional values or anything about like their tribe or their history. So it just really messes things up. But yeah. What were
That's
we
not a
talking about
good
before?
one.
Oh yeah, Alibaba.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
I don't
Baba.
know about Alibaba, but one thing I do like, I like eBay. eBay is great. It's
I
like
haven't
the
been on eBay in a
world's,
long time.
yeah, yeah, I know. I like eBay. It's like the world's swap meet. Even
Yeah.
though like it's never
Individual
gonna
sellers.
like surpass Amazon, I think eBay is always gonna be around just because it allows people to sell random shit on the internet easily. One thing I don't like about eBay though, a few years ago they made it so you have to have a PayPal account.
Oh yeah.
You have to
PayPal.
have a PayPal account. So it's like
It
that
keeps your
that's
like
kind of
identity
AIDS.
safe.
Yeah. That's kind of AIDS though. But because the thing is you used to be able to just buy an eBay card like at Target or something, a gift card and use that like on Amazon. But now you have to have a PayPal account, which kind of sucks. Damn it,
Hmm.
Elon Musk founding
I mean, well, it's
PayPal.
not Elon's fault that
He
eBay
founded the
did that.
company. I'm blaming him.
But there's a bunch of other people that founded that. I think Peter Thiel also founded it. We don't need to get into
Who's
that though.
Yeah, yeah. Let's not get into that. Let's get into something more recent. Let's talk about big thing this month because it's Pride Month. You know,
Okay.
let's talk about the LGBT community. What's your opinion on trans people in the military?
They can
Yay
do
or
whatever they
nay?
want. Yeah, they can do whatever they want. I mean, the military should accept them because it's extra people that to work in the military. I mean, I don't know if there's a counter argument to that. I haven't heard one, and not in a long time.
Well, I guess like the counter argument for that would be, I don't like if you trans in the army, that's fine. I don't care. But I guess the thing is, people say that because trans people need certain medicines,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
military has to pay for it.
yeah, the military has to pay for it. So yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of like that's like extra costs on but the military has so much money. I don't know why it would matter. The military is getting the Pentagon gets so much money every year to fight all these shadow wars,
yeah.
all these shadow wars. Because I don't know how many countries we're deployed in, but it's like it's not just Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria. It's like
Yeah, it's quite
we
a
got
few.
guys in Somalia, we got guys in Africa like training people. We got guys in there's constantly a presence over in Russia. No, not in Russia, in Eastern Europe. You know where it is? They have a lot of
Where?
guys in Ukraine training the Ukrainian
Yeah,
army for the
yeah.
Civil
Because isn't
War.
yeah the proxy, yeah, the war with Russia, proxy
Yeah.
war, I think it is.
You know anything about that?
I'm only familiar with it because of the Donald Trump impeachment situation involving the Ukraine war.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. This war's been going on for 6 years at this point.
Yeah, a long
Six
time.
years, and they're fighting in over this tiny ass piece of land. It's small, like like it's like this the bottom right corner of Ukraine, the very bottom right corner. The thing with all these shadow wars, all these proxy wars that Russia's been fighting over in like the east, they're like just slowly taking over like parts of countries. They did the
Yeah.
same thing in Georgia. You ever hear about the invasion of Georgia?
No, not
First of
really.
all, do you know about Georgia the country? Because a lot of people get that mixed up. They're like, Georgia? What, like the
Yeah,
state?
yeah, I've heard of the country Georgia.
Yeah, the Jordan country. In 2008, they invaded Georgia, Russia, because there was like some sort of like civil war, for like a short ass amount of time, and then the Russian government came in, went to the. It was this is this crazy thing. So they have the Georgian army, right?
Yeah.
And they're fighting with these separatists, just like in Ukraine. But yeah, they're fighting with these separatists, and the Russian army comes in. They just swoop in, surround the capital, just completely curb stomp the Georgian army. But before they take the capital, they leave. And this whole thing happens in a week. It's like the Georgian Russian war. It's like the whole thing happens in a week, and Georgia has to sign all these stupid agreements, and that's how South Ossetia became a thing. South
Hmm.
Ossetia is the breakaway part of Georgia.
Yeah. That's
But that
interesting.
but yeah, that's the thing. It's they have a name for it. It's called the salami strategy, right? So
Yeah.
Russia is trying to take all these slices of countries until they have the whole piece of the salami. But yeah, they're slowly trying to get back the Soviet Union.
Trying to expand, yeah.
But I think the thing is it's not like about world domination. Like everyone thought like the Soviet Union was about world domination. It's like not really. They just
Yeah.
like tried to like get more influence. But it's more about like having a buffer zone, you know.
Yeah,
That's what
buffer zone
Hitler
for
said
war.
too though, but like I think it's more of because of all these like nuclear armed NATO sites right on the Russian like line, because like Russia
Yeah.
doesn't want all the countries on its border to just join NATO. That's why they try and keep those countries out of NATO through like economic pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was such a big thing when the Ukrainian president, the old Ukrainian president, got kicked out of power, because then it's like all of a sudden Russia doesn't have like this little puppet in Ukraine. They have to like worry about, oh shit, NATO's gonna like swoop in.
Swoop in, yeah.
Ukraine's just gonna join the EU and NATO. But yeah, that's like they invaded on paper. That's crazy, man.
Hmm.
Crazy war, crazy. They fight in like trenches over there. Trenches like World War One. It's nuts.
Yeah. The trench foot.
I hope they're not getting trench foot. I hope nobody's getting trench foot anymore. That stuff's disgusting. Gangrene. Your foot just falls off, just rots away. Uh. Hey,
Yeah.
you read any good books lately?
I've been reading some interesting books, but I don't know if you'll find them interesting.
Just lay it on me. Lay it on me. Tell me.
So so lately I the last book I read was this book called The American Dream Is Not Dead. It's like this economic analysis about how well Americans are doing, and obviously it's from a conservative perspective. I thought it was interesting. Um
Sounds pretty conservative.
Yeah,
But
and th-
it's
yeah,
fine, I guess. I don't know.
and then I've been reading this book about this biography about this guy named William F. Buckley. He was this influential uh
Hmm.
writer in the 20th century, and
Uh,
I just find him interesting. I don't know why necessarily, but
what do you write?
he wrote he was he wrote like columns about politics and essays, and he wrote novels too sometimes.
Oh,
Not like great novels.
not the greatest novels. Like, what was like the general theme of those novels?
Like he would kind of write novels based on his personal experiences. Like he wrote one about a kid at boarding school, and one about like a guy
Was he gay?
like in the early days of the military. Was he gay?
I don't know. I don't know
No.
why I said that. I'm just thinking like boarding school must be the gayest shit ever. Like especially like
Yeah,
an
it might
all
be.
one gender boarding school.
People there, they're probably like very like they pretend to be anti-gay, but they do like some really probably gay stuff.
They probably do some very like at prison. Like those prison guys are probably like as soon as they leave prison, they're like the most homophobic people possible. But like in prison, it's like, yeah, I'll suck
Anything they
your
can
dick
get.
to pass the time, man. Oh, I heard that on Dave Chappelle once. He's like, he's like explaining like gayness in prison. It's like it's not that they're gay, it's just there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's just nothing to do in prison. It's like, man, I ain't gay. I'm just trying to pass the time, man. But yeah, uh, but yeah, you're just sitting there, you know. You're like a teenager, so you're all angsty, got all these
Me?
hormones. No, I'm just like saying like
Oh.
at boarding school, and it's just a bunch of dudes. These
Oh
people
yeah, yeah.
gotta be like
There's
schlong and dong.
there's this podcast I used to listen to this podcast called Views. It's hosted by David Dobrik.
Oh,
I used to watch his videos. I don't really anymore. But oh, he used to go to summer camp, and he talked about how there was this one kid that would he would always like at midnight he would always take his clothes off, and then he would jump in the other bunks and like rub his dick on the other campers.
jeez, that's sexual assault.
And they all thought it was just the most hilarious thing. They called it, like he would yell midnight service, and then he'd go and rub himself all over other campers.
That would be hilarious until you get a dick rubbed on you, you know? That's
Yeah,
like one of those things where you can just laugh and laugh until it happens to you, and then you're just like, it's not funny, man.
yeah. You go
Oh,
and take another shower in the middle of the night,
oh, jeez. That would, I could.
washing your face.
That's why I could never go to prison. I just couldn't shower with a bunch of dudes. Just a bunch of grown ass men in there for
Didn't they
like
used to?
raping kids and shit. Nah, fuck that.
Don't those
Yeesh.
people get like murdered in prison? They child rapists.
Oh yeah, they fucking hate pedophiles and like sexual like predators. It's like a whole thing. They just hate them. They all like so they all have to gang up, you know, for protection.
Yeah,
But yeah, those guys, like those other guys, man, they fucking hate them. But like that's the thing in prison. Like everyone's a bad person. Like you don't go to prison for like even if you like go to prison for some goofy shit, right?
yeah,
Like you're not going back. Like the people who've been to prison multiple times, even if they're not in there for murder or assault, it's like you know they're like doing that stuff, right? Like because
yeah.
the people who like do the one-off weird shit, they never come back. They're never there. It's the people who are like real ass criminals that are like just in
Hard.
prison all the time, you know? And they're not getting caught for the terrible shit. They're getting
I,
caught because they're stupid. You
I was
know?
thinking that didn't used to be a high school thing, or like it was a trend in high school, trope in high school where like the football team would like shower in like the high school showers. Maybe that's a college thing. I don't know.
I don't know, cause I know we have a shower right at high school. We have a
Yeah,
shower. I've just never seen anybody use it. Do
that'd be
people
really
use it? I don't
weird.
know. I don't know. I've never.
I couldn't imagine. That'd be really weird to me. Just like, all right, time to get just shower in front of all these other people, these random dudes in your gym.
And then someone spins down, slaps you on the ass with it.
Yeah,
Nice cock, bro. Nice
that'd
cock,
be
bro.
awful.
Smack. Hey, Ryan, the G-Man. Whatcha? Be it's just male bonding, man. Like the
Yep.
Spartans, like the samurai. Oh my gosh, you know who are the gayest ever? People
Samurai.
probably hate me for this, but yeah, the samurai. Because the thing with the samurai is they were away from their wives all the time. And
Yeah.
it's like this is like ancient times in Japan, so it's a bunch of concubines anyway, right? So these guys didn't actually give a fuck about their wives. Like they didn't like it wasn't a love thing. It was like you need a wife, here you go. Just chuck some underage girl on them. It's like get that shit away from me. But yeah, the samurai were away from home with a bunch of other dudes all year fighting, right? Or on like
Yeah.
campaign because they had to move around like all over the place, like take over castles. And like that's the thing. When you're taking over a castle, right? It's not like everyone runs at the castle and they take over. What people usually do is they just set up camp and surround the thing and just wait out the people till they surrender. So like sieges can take sometimes it can take years and it's nuts, but yeah. These guys samurai were like gay as fuck, man. Just around
Mm.
a bunch of other dudes all day, you know.
They were away from their wives for all that time.
And it was like a known thing, just like the Spartans, like
Yeah.
apparently like the Spartans. What they did was, oh, this is so goofy, but this is like this big thing in Greece, ancient Greece. They would get like an older soldier and then a younger soldier, and then they'd be like mentors. It's like your boyfriend, so they would have like
Oh.
this really like tough bond because they're lovers, and they would like fight better because they're gay. They were like that's the thing. The Spartans were like the ultimate warriors because they were gay
Yeah.
as fuck, man. And like the Romans talked about, they were like they're so fucking manly and gay. Yeah, there was like this whole thing, like Rome when they were fighting against Greece to conquer it. It like took forever because of all the different city states. They all joined together and they were like sieging all these cities and they were fighting all these like super jacked, savage ass gay dudes. It's
Yeah.
nuts. What a time! What a time!
Time to
Uh
be alive.
going back to like Elon Musk and all that shit. What's your
Oh yeah,
thoughts
Tesla.
on like this doesn't really like pertain to that, but like what's your thoughts on AI, like
Oh,
artificial intelligence?
I like the people in my family know this about me. Like I'm AI scares me. Like I don't like playing VR games even at a principal.
Or you
That's like
got
the
like
one thing I'm good at being principled at.
oh you got AI. I wouldn't think that. I thought you'd be like a little supportive of that, but I guess not.
Well, I feel like it's gonna happen, but I feel like what's gonna happen, right, is that you're gonna have like this new group of like Amish type people, but they're not really gonna be Amish. But
Oh, they're
they're just
just
gonna
gonna like stray away from well the Amish are obviously gonna still be around. But like
yeah,
they're gonna
like stray
like
away from technology.
ward
Yeah,
off like they're not gonna like deal with like robots.
yeah, they're gonna like buy a bunch of like land and live in the woods in these communes or whatever.
Hmm, I could see that happening, you know. That's already a thing, you know, communes, but so how that that's the thing though, in like all those like cyberpunk themed things, like people are just super racist against robots.
Yeah, they're very anti. Ugh, robots.
Oh, that's how they are in Star Wars. It's like, we don't serve your kind here. When C-3PO and R2-D2 walk into the cantina, it's like, get the fuck out, get out, you robots, you scum. But I'd be okay with like AI if it was like in Star Wars, right? Where it's
Yeah,
like,
like friendly.
yeah, where like the robots really aren't like that bad, and they're just like, hey, they're like kind of like in servitude. That's the only way I think robots could work if they're like in permanent servitude and like
Yeah,
programmed to be docile.
program to never
What really
like kill
scares
anybody.
me, yeah, yeah, where they don't like killing. What really scares me is like artificial intelligence when it comes to the army. Like,
Yeah, you like nuke a country or something like that.
yeah, but like even like imagine a fully automized drone that's like just trained to like know what a terrorist looks like and just blam. That would
Yeah,
be. I don't
just
want them
killing
to.
random people in the street.
That'd be nuts. I don't want them to have drones or robots to begin with because like the thing with that is you can just that's how the United States is fighting wars now. It's just a guy at a desk looking at a computer screen mowing down people like it's modern warfare.
Yeah, like Call of Duty.
Yeah, because you can't like make like moral like judgments from a screen. Yeah, they just look like little bots. Wh- what are you supposed to do? Like I don't see how people can just do that. Like I'd rather
No, no.
spend the money on the plane and have a pilot in the cockpit like blowing up people instead of a guy at a desk in some air conditioned like trailer blasting
Yeah,
Afghans
while he's eating his egg McMuffin.
while he's eating his egg McMuffin that Raj delivered to him this morning while he's blowing up his cousin's house.
Yeah,
Man, what a war, the war in Afghanistan. Jeez, what's your thoughts on the war in Afghanistan? Have we
I
been
don't
there
know
too
anything
long?
about the. I don't know anything about the war in Afghanistan.
And to
I know
think it's
people.
been happening your whole life.
Yeah. Um, I don't really know that much about foreign policy. People ask me what I think about Israel. I don't have any thoughts on Israel. I don't know.
Israel's a
I don't know.
big one, isn't it? Everyone
Yeah,
wants to know
people
what your
like to talk
opinion.
about it.
They want to know if they can. They want to know what list to put you on.
I think people want to. What people want me to say, like I support Israel and I don't think Palestine should be recognized or something like. People, I think people are waiting for me to say that or something like that.
They're gonna put you on a list. Okay, it's gonna be over at the Israeli embassy. Ryan, good. But yeah, and then over at the Palestinian embassy, they're gonna be like Ryan, bad. But yeah, it's two lists. They exist in unison. I just don't want to end
There,
up on either list.
that's what I've heard is that there are some people on Israel that are super hardline anti-Palestine. They cannot stand it.
Well, they just, dude, that's the whole Israeli government. They just don't want it to exist, you know? Because they've been slowly taking over all the land that Palestine's supposed to have. Like, if you see a map of, like, Palestine, it's like, okay. But then when you look at, like, a map of Israeli settlements in Palestine, it's like they've taken over half of Palestine. And you can tell why Gaza is like the most like uh dense per capita place on earth. It's because they've stuck all these people in like 3 miles. Like the the whole Palestinian race is like stuck on this like tiny stretch of land. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous. This is an unpopular opinion, but like I think they just put all those people in the Gaza Strip just to kill them one day because because the thing is the only reason the Palestinians haven't been able to like because they've had so many revolts to like really like do something against Israel is because they're all stuck in this tiny ass place. As soon as they do something, Israel just comes and just bombs the shit out of it. Just levels the
yeah,
place. They can't grow anything. They can't fish past like a mile. Like what are they gonna do? They're just trying to like wait them out. It's like this very long siege. Back to the samurai. You know. I mean, I'm not saying Israel's gay, but
yeah. I'm not an anti-Semite. I just
I'm
want to
not an
say,
anti-Semite. I'm just saying. It's not cool that they just stuck him on this tiny ass piece of land and won't let him go.
yeah. Isn't there like there's kind of like isn't there kind of like the like what they call like the moderate idea where it's like Israel cedes some of the land back to Palestine and Palestine is officially recognized and they kind of coexist or whatever.
That's what was supposed to happen, but like Israel ain't gonna allow that.
I know there are some people. I think usually it's like people in the Republican Party who are like, no, fuck Palestine.
I don't know why. Like Israel must have our government in like its pockets for us to like care so much about this shitty little piece of land in the Middle East. Like why we
Why?
care about the Middle East is beyond me considering how much oil is in South America, like our backyard.
Yeah,
Like over in Venezuela, like Venezuela before the whole Maduro, like all this, like the fucking all that shit happened before their government collapsed. Like holy crap, they were making bank. Like they didn't have to have. They were like one of those oil countries in the Middle East. Like
Yeah, wealthy because of oil.
didn't have to have agriculture, didn't have to have factories. It was just oil, just funding the whole regime. But yeah, Maduro's
Is
kind
it
of an idiot. Yeah,
wasn't it like Venezuela and Chile were the richest countries in the continent or something like that?
yeah, it's nuts, man. But yeah, shit. What they're that reminds me of Nigeria. Nigeria, man, such a rich country, but so many problems.
Is it one of those countries where there's like really rich people and then like people are dying on the street?
Yeah, like dirt ass poor people. That's the thing
Yeah.
with Nigeria. Like everyone sees like all this I like how it cuz like back when we were kids, we thought of like Nigeria as a place where scammers lived. Like land of scammers, this place must suck. But nowadays like there are Nigerians who could like buy and sell me. Like there are some rich ass Nigerians. It's cuz they
Yeah.
got so much money in such a short time. But what people don't realize is there's a war going on in Nigeria. The north of the country is just fucked. Like once you get down like to around where all the oil is and like the rivers and like the capital Lagos,
Yeah.
like outside is just dirt, poor, and Boko Haram. Just terrorist groups wandering around. Man, that's just what happens, man. Where when you get all that money, it's like an
Yeah.
oligarchy, like Russia.
Russia, yeah, Russia. I've heard it's an oligarchy.
Yeah, Russia's pretty. That was the thing, though. Russia became an oligarchy, and like it went from hardcore communist to like boom oligarchy, like that.
It was. I heard the transition wasn't done properly. It was too quick or something like
Yeah,
that.
the transition was ridiculous. What I thought was Gorbachev really shouldn't have given up power to Yeltsin. One,
Yeah.
because Yeltsin's an idiot, but also just because he was such a good leader to like. But then again, he really couldn't be the leader. Is the problem because he's the Soviet dictator. He wasn't a president. He was put in place by the Duma, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it wouldn't really jive with the world. But he was a good leader. He really could have like led Russia down the right path instead of what it became, like the whole 90s and like the chaos in Russia that happened
Yeah.
in the 90s. Because another thing, Russia wasn't just like, oh shit, now we have a new government and all these countries are leaving the Soviet Union all at once. They were fighting a whole ass war
Yeah.
against Chechnya, right? And the Chechens were like taking over schools and blowing up fucking hospitals and crap. It was nuts. And they were like leveling Chechnya and like all these millions of guys were conscripted. It was nuts. What a
Would you
time.
ever join the military?
Would I ever join the military? I can't join the military.
Why not?
Um, because I don't meet the standards, like the
Oh,
medical standards. I don't meet the medical standards. You probably wouldn't either, but yeah.
probably not.
But yeah, I don't meet the medical standards. It's like one of those like weird things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't join. I would join the army, but I couldn't join the United States Army. I think if I was to join the army, it would have to be like something I would like actually have to care for, like how people used to like kind of like I'm not gonna say like how people like join the Taliban and shit, but like I would have to like care about it, like I would have to like physically like be like, oh shit, I need to go and join the army, because like I don't think I would mind like all the fighting and stuff, but like or like just like being in like tough conditions, but it would really have to be something I believe in, because I'm not just gonna go kill people's kids for like no fucking reason, like in Afghanistan. Why are we even in Afghanistan?
I don't know anything about it. I have no opinion on Afghanistan. But what requirement do you not meet? Like, do you have like asthma or something?
Nah, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. It's just weird.
Uh,
You don't care. But Africa. What's your
yeah,
thoughts on
Africa.
Africa? Wait, we kind of already
Um,
talked about Africa. Let's talk about something else.
maybe we talked about
Hmm.
Africa for a little bit about the rich
Yeah,
Nigeria.
Nigerian. How rich Nigerians are. Uh, you like martial arts?
They're interesting. I've never done them.
It's fun martial arts. You know, the thing is with martial arts, it's not like a sport where it's like you have to be young. Like anybody at any age could be a top tier martial artist. Because
Yeah,
the thing with martial arts is there's no one who's like good at it to begin with, right?
yeah.
You
With
know?
the practice,
Yeah. Cuz like
you
it's
can get
just
really
not
good.
something you do on the daily. Like cuz people like grow up playing like sports is like with their friends, but like you don't really do that with martial arts. But the thing is you don't start off and it's like you're not a star player and you get put on like a whole like little team. That's not um martial arts works. You start from level 1 no matter what, you know. No matter what skill, you're a white belt or whatever and you like make your way up on your own like at your own pace. Like it's what you put into it, right? It's not like your natural gifts. But the thing
Yeah.
with yeah,
Do they
uh
like spar in martial arts?
yeah, you spar, but it's like the thing with martial arts is people think it's all about fighting, but it really isn't. Like it's a lot of it, especially like things like not really like jujitsu and wrestling, but definitely things like taekwondo, karate, muay thai, and like things like that. There's a lot of like lessons to be learned. Karate especially, a lot of lessons. Like just like there's also a lot of philosophy involved with meditation and just conditioning in general. It's very interesting, you know. I really want to
Yeah, it
get
is.
back and yeah, do it again.
So what is it that you're studying in college again? It's history, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna major in history
Hmm.
just because I like it. I might
Do you
change it though. I might change it.
you're thinking about like art or something? Oh, if the art doesn't make hardly any money,
Yeah, maybe not art, but maybe Japanese. Yeah, I could be a teacher in Japan.
you could
I
be
really.
you could then be a professor of Japanese language
Nah, I'd rather.
or history.
I wouldn't really want to do that, but like maybe like go to Japan and teach English because
Yeah,
that's like the easiest thing to like because like in Japan you need a job before you actually get you can live in the country. You need a job there. Like lined up. It can't be like it's not like in America where you can get the visa and have no job.
yeah,
Like the Japanese government requires you to get that job before you get into the country, which is why nobody moves to Japan.
yeah. But you have to have a job before you go in.
It's not even that. It's they made it like that on purpose. They just do not like foreigners. I mean, that's the funny thing about Japan. Great country, great people, great culture, but it's like a look at a distance type of meme, right? They're very
Yeah, they don't like
xenophobic
live there.
people, very xenophobic. Props to Japan though. But that's funny though. All these people like just love Japan so much and Japan's like, yeah,
We don't
fuck
really like
off.
you very much.
Yeah. I like Japan, but not like I like all the goofy stuff about Japan. Not like
Not like
all the
yeah,
food and Mount Fuji and shit like that. Tea ceremony. I don't really give a shit about that. I like all the like interesting things that like the Japan like that the Japanese government and like the Japanese people don't want you to like bring up like during a tour. Like I like the
yeah.
I just like the history of it. Because it's a
Yeah,
very
I haven't looked at the
interesting
history.
country just because of how isolated it
Ex-
has been.
Except like the World War II history around that imperialist Japan.
They really
That
don't want you talking about that.
they don't like that part of their history very much.
It's not like Japan. It's not like Germany, right? Where they're so apologetic about it. Japan, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it never happened, right?
Yep. I know
They
what you're
just
talking about.
deny it.
Mm.
But
Like also if I did
that's,
like the Chinese people or whatever.
oh my gosh, they did the Chinese dirty, man. They did the
Yeah.
Chinese and the Koreans dirty. But like, holy crap. People don't realize it, but like China played such a big role in World War II. Like 20 million Soviets died, but 20 million Chinese people died too. Some
Yeah.
ungodly amount of Chinese people died. Mostly civilians, just like in the Soviet Union. But Jesus Christ, like Japan was like and like that's the thing. Japan didn't really wasn't losing to the Chinese. They were wombo comboing the Chinese army. Like the last military operation of the war, like big one for Japan, they just destroyed the nationalist army in China. And that's why the communists win. People won the Chinese Civil War. People don't realize that. The Japanese army wiped out the nationalists, and they were so weak because before that, the communists were like nothing. You know, they were losing hard. But once like the Japanese came in and like just swept across China, just destroying the nationalist army,
The communists came in.
swooped in, took everything, and the nationalist army had to run to Taiwan. Damn,
Oh god.
fucking Japan! Come on, man. Could have been a world without communist China.
Well, now we're buddies with them
Yeah,
for the foreseeable future.
yeah. Japan's a pretty good ally to have.
Yeah.
I mean, they followed us to Iraq, of all.
It's always a positive.
That's always a positive. If if you fought in Iraq, you're okay in my book. You know, only America's real allies came and fought with us in that god awful war. Uh,
Good old George W. Bush.
I mean, say what you want about George W. He can dodge a shoe. That man can
Yeah.
dodge a shoe. I mean, I like George W. Bush. It's just his policies and they weren't that great.
Yeah. I think yeah, because they were kind of in reaction because the issue I have is that at the time there was kind of a consensus even among Democrats, but they changed their mind later. But the Republicans kind of very much stuck to it. They didn't really want to like admit that the U.S. made mistakes at that time. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I mean, I don't know that much.
Yeah, I just think I agree with that, but like I just think George W. His like his party and cabinet were really in charge of him, as opposed to like Trump, where he's like it's very top down
Oh
and
yeah,
he's
he
like
fires him all the time.
firing people all the time like it's The Apprentice. Like
Yeah,
George W. is like really being like swayed to do this and that by the GOP and like especially Dick Cheney. Ugh.
yeah.
Satan himself.
I mean, I don't have
Didn't
like
he
an opinion
shoot
about
some
Dick
guy in
Cheney.
the face with a
I don't know.
shotgun?
I don't know anything about Dick Cheney. I know that certain people like him and certain people hate him. Like really hate him.
I don't know, man.
I've heard he's
I
a
just
dirt
remember he
manager.
was evil. That's just what my dad thought. He's like, fuck Dick Cheney. Uh, any activists in your family?
No, not really.
Mm, yeah.
My family is very I have a lot of political disagreements with my family.
Oh, they're like Republicans.
Yeah, but not in like they're not registered Republicans, but not in like the good way. Because there is a branch of the Republican Party that I do quite like, just not
Yeah,
like the
like
Trump
just like
branch.
those like centrist, like left, like right leaning views. That's like really what America's based on. Like,
Yeah, like center right views.
yeah, center right views. But like, what? So what are they like? The not good
Now
Republican?
m- my most of my family and most of my extended family is like they're very pro Trump types.
Ooh,
Um, my father is not a pro Trump. He doesn't like Trump, but he dislikes the Democrats when they dislikes Trump.
well, yeah.
So
I mean, I don't really like the Democrats. Like me, I'm registered. I'm gonna put. This is really stupid. Nobody likes this, but I'm registered with the Serve America First. Sam.
Is that a party?
Yes. Yep. Serve America First.
What is their mission?
They're
Like,
centrists. It's a
oh,
centrist party, and it's all about like destroy. It's like getting rid of polarization, right?
yeah,
And it's like trying to make like a strong, like centrist third party to just get rid of all the polarization. It's mostly about like serving like small government. It's all about small government and centrism and trying to like end like the
that
the
is interesting.
strife. Yeah, it's very interesting. I really when I looked it up because like when I went to register to vote, I did online, and there were all these registries, and like at the very bottom it was like Sam, and I'm like, what's the Sam party? That sounds interesting. So I look it up, and it's like this really nice video, and I'm like, that sounds cool. You know, that looks fun. I'll do that because I just don't jive with the Republican Democratic parties because they're just so polar, you know?
Yeah,
Anything the one party does, the other party hates, and there's just like no agreement. Everything is a political issue with these people.
yeah.
It's like
Because they can make a
terrible.
lot of money that way, you know.
And just the lobby groups, it's just fucking so corporate. It's ridiculous. And everything's so far leaning. Like
Yeah,
there's no discourse, there's no like moderation. It's just like we're far left, we're far right, deal with it. And it's
yeah,
like how are you ever going to come to the table if you just disdain the other person? It's terrible.
yeah.
I
There
just
are some people that I think are worthy of disdain, but they're few and far between.
yeah. Some people though in politics can be like real scumbags, like
Like Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney. Oh, Dick Cheney. Yes. What's your thoughts on Lee Zeldin,
I don't
our shadow
have any thoughts on him.
fucking senator?
I know he's like I the only thing I know about him is that I know he's a Republican, and Jack told me he's a big pro-Trump guy. I don't know if he still is, but other than that, I don't know anything about him.
That's the problem. I don't know anything about Lee Zeldin either. I just know he's our senator, like for our districts. And it's
Yeah,
like, but I've never seen this man in my life. Like,
the only time I've seen him is from the video, the graduation ceremony.
yeah, like always see like every time like he has to get reelected, I see him.
Yeah,
Other than that, like it's I don't think he lives on Long Island is the thing.
he has like a Washington. I think he comes
I think he
by
comes
sometimes, but he has
down.
like a Washington D.C. apartment.
Yeah, I think he's like mostly in DC, whatever he does up there.
Yeah,
Not pass
they're
bills.
supposed to like represent our interests.
I know this is taxation without representation. We don't have proper representation in the government. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
All these high ass taxes. I can't believe so many people can like live on this tiny ass island. It's nuts.
people are people can really squish them and condense themselves down when they when the financial incentive is there.
I know it's weird. I heard once. Um, this great YouTuber. Let me know. Really good.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna
I like him.
squeeze. Yeah, I really like him. I'm gonna squeeze this in because we only have like a minute left. But like, yeah, he made this great video once where he's talking about like the world, and he
Yeah,
says that all of humanity could fit in like an area the size of the United States comfortably, like
yeah,
and like leave the rest of the world uninhabited and like every and we'd be able to get along just fine. And we'd be able to do the same thing but like very condensed like Hong Kong style if everyone was just living in Texas, in an area the
yeah,
size of Texas. And I'm like,
yeah,
I believe that
yeah. I think that's true.
just because of places like in like the walled city in Hong Kong and like Gaza, it's like ridiculous. But yeah, we're
They're
out of
very
time.
yeah.
Thank you for coming on the podcast, Ryan. I really enjoyed
It's
it.
my pleasure. I had a
And
good time.
yeah, I had a great time. Who should I get on next? Quick.
I think I'll recommend Jack this time. Jack or Jordan.
Yeah, they really want to get on, but as a duo, and I don't feel like having them on a duo. I think I'll do Corey though. I think I'll do Corey next because that man,
That sounds good.
he can talk for hours. Great. So, well, see ya. It was
See you
great
guys.
having you on, and
Thanks.
that's all.